Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunburned Albino Plays Ace Attorney Trilogy, episode 100. Triple digits. We made it, fellers. We're doing it. We're still on this case. The case is not even half over. But let's keep it going. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded, straight into the garbage. That's right, so last episode, at the end, Larry revealed a sketch that he drew of what he says that he saw, and it involved a flying person. So now we get to have a flying person again. Just like with Max Galactica, except this one is probably harder to explain, because at least Max Galactica was like a magician, and that's kind of part of it. This is going to be like some spiritual teleportation, levitation shenanigans. Ha! What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive? Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Laurice Donan, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain! You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time, trust me. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. Oh, here we go. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Okay, so there's the contradiction. A crystal sphere. This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere, where did you find it? Let me see, around here somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow? It had pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood? You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Laurice Donan only a few minutes ago? Okay, the question is, do we contradict that with Elisa's profile or with the staff itself? Alright, staff works. Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who? Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Elisa Donan, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone. What? 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 Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. Edgeworth would probably say either instead of either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elisa Donham? A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw it with my own two eyes. And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elisa Donham was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case? That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reasons that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean, I'm the killer? No way! All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elisa Donham left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Let's see. It was found half buried in the snow, half covered in snow. But that doesn't mean that it had to have stopped snowing by the time it was dropped. Otherwise it would have been completely covered. Because if you drop something in the snow, that means it's half covered. Because it's hitting the snow, hits the ground, the snow around it. Like this, the fact that it's half covered and not fully covered would mean that it happened when the snow stopped. Which, according to the weather report, could either be after 10:50 or before 7. But it's like, dude, why was there blood on it before a murder? And then they just sort of hung out for 3 hours with nobody noticing anything? The weather data doesn't prove that it was dropped before. It could have just as easily been dropped afterwards. So... carried by Elisa Donham when she was alive. Has a fingerprints on it. Indeed. Hanging scroll. Has nothing to do with anything. Yet. Cold New Year's issue? Nah. Not quite. Photo of Elisa? Not quite. Iris's testimony. Doesn't prove anything. Autopsy report doesn't prove anything. The courtyard doesn't prove any... Well, the staff isn't in this picture, so... Tracks photo doesn't prove anything. Larry's sketch doesn't prove anything. The crystal sphere doesn't prove anything. I mean, I don't think we can. But this is one of those issues where it's just like... I mean, like, yeah, try it. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Your response, Miss Von Car- Oh my, why is my controller dead? Hold on. Hold on a second. I have to switch from my gold one to my red one. Ah, red and gold. What a combination of colors, don't you agree? Regal and important and royal just for somebody like me. Birds of a feather flock together. Are you familiar with this phrase? Miles Edgeworth? I think one such bird is calling for its fellow now. Okay, so that was incorrect. What if I say it's impossible? What happens? No matter how I look at it, it's not possible. It is certainly strange that the crystal sphere was found near the bridge, but perhaps it is just a curveball from the killer. Well, well, Miles Edgeworth seems to have nothing further to say. Then I am left with no choice. The court sees no reason. What is this? Hey, Edgy, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? If it was Nick standing where you are right now... If it was Nick, do you think he'd give up? No, he'd find the truth no matter what it took, no matter how crazy it seemed. Right. At this moment, I'm standing where you should be, which means there's only one thing to do. Okay, well then, yeah. Guess we have to prove it. Yes, I can, baby. To simply prove it. Maybe we just present the sphere, then. You know, just kind of bullshit it. Evidence that proves... Why the sphere, of course. Wow, that actually worked. This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Then how does the weather report not also be related to that? Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Oh my god, my nose. Stop this. Stop this crazy thing. Hold on, there's a sneeze coming. I can't focus on living my life until it gets out of me. It's building up. It's tingly. Oh, come on, just do it! Just do it already! No balls. Dude, my nose has no balls. Like, it won't do it. Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What? What could that have been? This sphere. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. But she fell 10 feet after being stabbed, so where would she have fallen to? The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool, and which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Elisa Doning's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. They use the snowmobile to carry it then. Please show us the method by which... Okay, yeah. Give me the tracks. Tracks photo. Bam! On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Ah! As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Order! Order! Yeah! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth! You've dug yourself into your own grave! What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant! She's the one who moved the body! Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim Elisa Donham really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy, thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Grr, grr. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Franzi whipping me all day. Ouch! Miles Edgeworth. I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame. Franzi! This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all the legal system stands for. Ow, 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 ow. I demand satisfaction. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. Oh, yeah. Further investigation. Well, we have to go find Pearl, which has not been brought up in like 2 episodes. We have to get across to Maya, get her side of stuff. Like, we need both these people's testimony. I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here? This isn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him, somehow. Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian in artist speak. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102 degrees. Nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shishito did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again. Oh, thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is our client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I have the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you, I'm sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu, right? Take care. Why refuse to tell somebody something that they have literally just made up their mind to go find out anyway? Like, why not just save them the trouble? Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Ah, that's right! Maya is still stuck over at the inner temple. But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. You know what's annoying? I hate when voice actors... nobody did this yet. Or in this. I was thinking about the letter again that I'm playing. And, like, one of the characters in there just, like, they always do this, like, fake laugh while they're talking about something that isn't funny. You're like, yeah, like, I guess I didn't know what I was talking about, you know, and that's like, please stop. Like, you're not good if you do that. That's not a flex. That's not a voice acting flex. To laugh like a complete idiot while you're saying a line. Like, that's such a intermediate thing to do. Like, it's aggressively mediocre of a thing to be like if I was Phoenix, I'd be like, looks like no one's here. Larry! Larice! I was sure he'd be hiding here. Like, yeah, like, you see how annoying that is. Guess I'll try again later. Come on, please. Oh, that would be Larry. Come on, please. It's for art's sake. I swear. There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here. The heroine in my book. It'll make you famous. Enough. A fool's fool fools fools who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're, Ow! Your reflexes and mine need to shape up! My brain's frying like a sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name? Franzi, you can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told. Vip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not. And I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Franzi's Whippity Whip Trip. Gah! Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony. And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. Off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect VIN record, naturally. Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years. But now he is gone from this world. Oh, he's dead? I mean, I know he was in jail, but like... Oh yeah, they would have probably executed him, huh? Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father. Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear? Yes, Crystal. In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you. Because it does. And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kinda cute. Ow! No smirking! No whipping the sick! That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth. Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing and one thing only. To pulverize you. It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer X, you know. I went over the whole case file on the flight over. You read the whole thing? Yes, Every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge? Did you even consider the dangers? No. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across. A fool who doesn't sink is more foolish than a fool who foolishly sinks. Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's gotta be okay. I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the inner temple that night. What could I even present to you? I don't think you would answer me anything, really. You want to talk about the sketch? I refuse to help you. Yep, alright. We'll just leave you be, then. Back to the main hall. That was one long sigh. Oh, that was a sigh? I thought it was like a chant. You know, this is the kind of place you expect that kind of shit to happen. Sister Bikini? My, I didn't know you were here. How are you doing? Dude, look at her face jiggle, oh my god. You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake. I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elisa die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it, There's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. Are you talking about your performance at the trial today? You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elisa's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least I was until this morning. I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me? I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. I felt like I might start flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the inner temple, is that correct? That's right. I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claims she was in her room in Hazakura Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night. But because you did, Maya is stuck all by herself at the inner temple. I'm so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know. Earthquakes? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there, fast. But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. It's like an island? How so? Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the inner temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer and with no way of escape either. Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does. Ugh. Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster. I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something? No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elisa Donham. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, or her bust size for that matter. No, I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystic Elisa was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. There, you did it again, Sister Bikini. I noticed you always refer to Miss Donham as Mystic Elisa. Oh? Yes. Now, why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. Oh, we address all our visitors as Mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know. How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? Because she's Misty Faye. That's how. It seems Miss Elisa Donham was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Miss Donham on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all gotta be connected somehow. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess? Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh, man. My head's throbbing so bad, it's killing me. Pearls, she was with Miss Donham on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner. Or after we'd finished eating dinner? The murder. It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon. That's true, she could be there. What do you have to say about this staff? Ah, it's Mystic Elisa's staff. The crystal sphere really is missing from it. But the sphere was found near Dusky Bridge, right? Yes, even though I'm sure Mystic Elisa was in Hazakura Temple that entire evening. Well, that's a demon warding hood. Acolytes are highly susceptible to possession by evil spirits, that's why we always, this nasty fever. I thought maybe if I were to wear this hood, it'd make my fever go down faster. I don't think so. Colds and spirit power have nothing to do with each other. Way to crush a man's hope, man. Hey, tell me about this hanging scroll. Huh. Ah! Well, look what you found! That's the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Misty Faye. So this woman is Maya's mother, huh? It's been nearly 20 years since Mystic Misty disappeared. Apparently, she intended to pass the torch on to her daughter. Her daughter? Don't you know who her daughter is? Well, I myself am part of a branch family of the Fae clan, but even I am not privy to that kind of information when it concerns the main family. Bikini doesn't seem to know Maya's standing within the Fae family, so why wouldn't we tell her? This crystal sphere. It's not from a demon warding hood, but I would guess it serves a similar purpose. If it's not from a hood, then I guess it really is from Miss Donham's staff. Look at the blood on it. Oh, poor Mystic Elisa. Honestly, it's like the end of the world. It's not a good thing, that's for sure. To think people have the gall to call this kind of scribbling by the name of art. Huh? If that's the sort of standard you need for the arts these days, I could be a pop diva. Sure. But what about the contents of the picture? What do you make of that? It's definitely the end of the world. About this photograph. Oh yes, those are our snowmobile's tracks, all right. I'd know them anywhere. But there's only one set, which means the rider went out while it was still snowing and came back after it had stopped. That's really the only logical explanation, I suppose. Oh, I can't tell you about Iris's testimony, huh? I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything else to talk to you about. Let's go to the courtyard. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. Yeah, I'm still waiting for us to go to her room. They get quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun, they're tools for getting around. But the sled, now that's gotta be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. The main gate's on the other side of that stone wall. The difference in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. And that's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. Is it possible that Miss Donham was pushed from the top of the wall? The Shishishito! It's there in Mystic Amy's right hand. But it was proven in court today that it wasn't the murder weapon. Given the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past. Miss Donham's staff. I definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. I guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? There are a few of these stone lanterns scattered around in this courtyard. Without the city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. I guess Sister Bikini must light them now, since Iris can't be here. That's it? This is what we came here for? Oh, God! Hey! What was that jarring, inconsiderately loud yell? So, this is where you've been. Keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, have you finished repair the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know. Well, then I'll come along with you and... Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case. What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me. Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Ah! It's been a while, Scruffy. It's... Miss Von Karma! Sister, please leave the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I am on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to. As you work to pin the guilt on Iris. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright? Ow! That hurts, you know! Silence! I, Franziska von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me. She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? Oh, I think she is. Hot damn, let's get it. Let's not waste any more time. Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before. They must have commenced with the investigation. Oh, Mr. Nick! That voice! Pearls! Mr. Nick! Mr. Nick! So you were here, ever since that night? I was so lonely, I thought I was going to die. When I woke up in the morning and saw that Dusky Bridge was gone, I realized I was all alone. Well, then where's Maya? She was all alone? It must have been very trying for you, little girl. Ah, you're... I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. You introduce yourself like that to a child. There's no need to worry now that I'm here. You're the prosecutor who was so mean to Mystic Maya last year. Well... I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip. Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you. It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. Yo! Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything. You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away. Anyway, Pearls, weren't you with Maya? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls? Mystic Maya! Hey, wait, Pearls! She just ran off. Ow. Well, that was cruel, Phoenix Wright. To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable. What was that all about? Pearl's acting like that. It's giving me the creeps. I guess I'd better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago. Look at all the Buddha statues lined up along this path. Phoenix Wright, do you think this is how many siblings the head nun has? Why don't you ask her the next time you see her? You know what? I think I will. And she'll probably slap you for prying into her private affairs. There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside. Well, well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty! How naive of you, Phoenix Wright. But it's a bit strange, don't you think? Franziska von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. In other words, someone's been using it to burn something recently. Listen, Phoenix Wright. It's impertinent to call people by their full name. I was only copying you. You can see Dusky Bridge from here. It's an unusually long bridge, isn't it? I would say it's about 20 yards. I guess the gorge is too wide to cross with a piece of rope and a wire, huh? Therefore, no one has crossed the gorge in either direction since the night of the murder. A simple yet sound deduction, wouldn't you say, Phoenix Wright? This must be the door that leads to the inner temple, where Maya Fey was training on the night of the murder. Yes, there's a solitary room there called the training hall. You could do with some training yourself, Phoenix Wright. Yo! You're completely out of shape. I don't know how much more of this woman I can take. Okay, yeah, let's just move. I don't want to be examining this nonsense when we need to get to the bottom of this. Is that a psych lock? Like a real-life one? What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? Maya, she was supposed to be in here training. Yet it appears she's nowhere to be seen. What's that? That strange lock. It wasn't there 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes. This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it. Those chains. It's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before. I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psych lock. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix Wright? It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually... A woman? I don't see any woman here. There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere, it's a different smell. It's gravy! What's the matter? This scroll, it's been completely covered in gravy. Ah, yes. There's a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of paint, you Americans use gravy as a substitute, I see. No, no one does that. For starters, it stinks. This must be the gravy that we had with the roast on the night of the incident. But why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? What took you so long? I thought even you'd manage to get here faster than this. Oh, it's you. Okay, never mind. Mr. Trite. Prosecutor Godot, I didn't know you were here. Prosecutor? How come you didn't show up at the trial today? Ha! I could ask you the exact same question. Huh? But I had a cold, so I had something slightly more important than a common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding. Enough! I believe I have the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial? Who's the wild mare, Trite? This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today. Ha! Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, Princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins. Just who do you think you are? This case is my... Hey, Philly. Know your role and shut your mouth. Can't stand women like you. I'm only going to say this once, Lady Von Wippenberg. Go home. Phoenix, right? What are you hitting me for? Ha! You deserve more cracks of the whip than that, Trite. What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo. There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger? Or is it sorrow? You had some important business and that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it? I've told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Trite, I've experienced something most have not. Death. You died? Of course. Being extradited from hell is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is... well, let's just say modern medicine allows us all to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me. So, you mean that mask you wear is... this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. Without this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing. I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death? How is it possible? What happened? Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, Trite. You. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended, and who ended it for me. Well, Phoenix Wright, do you? I don't know what he's talking about. Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed. It will all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trite? Earlier, you said I've done something I can never undo. What did you mean by that exactly? The inner temple here on this side of Dusky Bridge is an isolated island. That's what Sister Bikini said too. And I wonder, Trite, do you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They're searching. Searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge. Huh? But that's impossible! She came here that night and... I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place. One? Where's that? The Sacred Cavern, the entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party has yet to explore. So they haven't searched that cavern yet, huh? Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No! Which means, Trite, that you sent Maya Fey to her death. You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there as a search party right now? You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Trite, once again, a woman dies because of you. Once again? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. It was only 2 years ago, after all, when the last unfortunate woman died because of you. Because of me? And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey. Mia? You killed her! No, that's not how it was. It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone, a man, but she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy. Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. But I got that guy, personally. Sure, Miss Fey's murderer was caught. But that won't bring her back. Well, no, but you were with her at the time. You and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher. Well then, I'd say you've learned nothing, trite. You robbed her of her life, and now you've let her sister suffer the same fate. I haven't sentenced Maya to death. No. What is this peculiar-looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of... I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. The repeated tremors have weakened the foundations of the training hall. Any excessive force used to break the lock open would... Well, let's just say the inner temple in the sacred cavern would be a thing of the past. Very well, then dare I suggest the obvious solution of opening it with the key? Ha! Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick lock. There's no keyhole? That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it. Then who was it? Simple. The accused. What? Iris? When an acolyte undergoes training inside the sacred cavern, the attending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Fey was to train in there. Sister Bikini did mention it a number of times, now that I think about it. She said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of the training. So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought here now. Iris is the only person who can open this lock? I hope she gets here soon. Hang on in there, Maya. We'll get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Godot. How sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the sacred cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You'd better start praying. You'd better pray that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon. Edgeworth? Listen up, trite. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never. You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix, right? That's what everyone says. It looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I'll just have to do what I can for now. Alright, well that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.